welcome back everybody to the Analyst Desk. And today's Analyst Desk will be joined by Sumin Yoon and Midori Lila. And this is season with the translation. It was Team Dynamics versus DWN Gaming, game number 1, and DWN Gaming picked up a win. Team Dynamics picked Lucian in the very early phase of the pick and ban, and DWN Gaming answered with Renekton. Recently, Kanna also had a really good performance on this pick, and also this is one of the Rich's favorite picks. So they were trying to neutralize Nuguri's aggressiveness with this Lucian pick on the top lane. However, the matter was not about Lucian versus Renekton, it was more about the jungle difference, the defeat in the Jiffy. So because Canyon was able to outscale the opponent in such a fast tempo, there was no way for Team Dynamics to overcome this kind of discrepancy. Based on the lane priority, Rek'Sai could have gone for a double scuttle or zone out Nidalee in the jungle, but in a very early level phase, Nidalee was able to kind of destroy Rek'Sai in the jungle. Let's take a look where this kind of discrepancy started in between the junglers. Showmaker had such a strong priority during the laning phase, so they weren't able to spot Canyon walking on the mid lane. And also Nidalee at the same time was not in the range of Rek'Sai's tremor sense, so Rek'Sai also did not have any idea of that jungling path. Nidalee was spotted in the very end, but she already finished the red buff camp, and this was connected to a first blood. Rek'Sai without flash, he cannot escape from Nidalee with the red buff, so maybe Beyond could look for a different jungle pathing with that kind of situation. It was not that Nidalee was ganking top lane a lot, camping top lane a lot, but because Rek'Sai, he did not have much power to cover Lucian on the top lane. Maybe he could just go for some more jungle clearing in order to scale up. So that was actually everything started to fall apart on the side of Team Dynamics. Even though Rek'Sai managed to get some meaningful ganks in the later phase of the game, that was not good enough to close out the gap between two teams. Let's take a look at another highlight. Team Dynamics, they already stacked up 2 dragons, and also the Baron was already available, so they could just rotate it for the Baron. And they also missed where Renekton was in this fight. Team Dynamics, they did not have any frontliners to protect the hyper damage dealers, but Lucian was looking for a flank angle instead of staying with his teammates. And Renekton also built Blade of the Ruin King first, so he was able to get solo kill by himself as well. Sometimes Renekton can build armor items to hold on to up against Lucian, but because Canyon was so ahead in the jungle, he was able to go for this kind of aggressive build. Team Dynamics, they were contesting for a dragon, which they should not. Now it's time to check out the player of the game on the side of DWN Gaming. Definitely one of the players from the top side of the map, and it's gonna be Canyon picking up the 9th POG of the split, which means Showmaker will not be able to maybe even out the POG standing if this series ends with 2 games. Nidalee was successfully zoning out Rek'Sai in the jungle, so Rek'Sai was forced to camp around the bottom side of the map. This was a very unlucky day for Team Dynamics, and also DWN Gaming was really smart and intelligent making this decision with the rotations. Somehow Team Dynamics managed to stack up the dragons. However, they were not able to connect it into a game victory.
상대를 괴롭히는 선택을 했던 게 사실은 제일 주요했던 게 아닌가 하는 생각이 듭니다. 물론 저런 캐니의 활약으로 탄력을 받은 너구리도
And also with that Kenyon's outplay, Noguri was also able to have assert dominance all throughout the map. The only junglers at the standings, Kenyon with 900 pop points. It's really impressive to see Kenyon picking up so many POGs in this split, and with the casting votes, Kenyon was able to pick up the POG. So which means Noguri had a very decent game as well. Now it's time to move on to game number 2, Team Dynamics versus DAMWON Gaming.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for the translation of the analyst desk, and congratulations to Canyon. I'm really glad that we said, like, if it's any combination of top and jungle, we'll be fine. Yeah. And it was, to the point where we needed to tie-break the vote.
Exactly right down the middle.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any closer than that. And, I mean, as we said, Canyon did a lot with the lead that he was given. He played it out very well to make sure that he secured that lead, so I'm not too sad about it. As, yeah, just right down the middle there. Beyond, you can see he did not have a very fun game. Picking the Rek'Sai into the Nidalee, which was an interesting choice to start off with, and then getting behind did look kind of useless. So we'll see what he can do here, hopping into game 2.
It's a little bit unfortunate because now DAMWON move over to the blue side, which is their more winningest side. I mean, they win basically every side, right? This is the team of 2 zeros, so they win 1 on red, 1 on blue almost every time out. But when they do get tested, like they were up against Gen.G, dropping a game, it's been blue side that's really bailed them out, as DAMWON are going to get rid of the Lucian this time. Not wanting to roll that dice again, and I actually respect this a lot.
Yeah, just take away a really big comfort pick for the side of Team Dynamics.
I mean, the whole game plan of DAMWON had to be around stopping Lucian from snowballing. And so now they get to focus elsewhere on the map. They really get to alleviate a lot of that pressure and force Dynamics into a different game plan. And I like that. I mean, forcing your opponents to change tack is, I think, very intelligent in a series like this. As Twist of Fate going to be the second ban here for Dynamics. And DAMWON probably going to ban Karma.
Yeah. Bard too good. Has to be banned away.
Big bad Brad.
Don't let him get Bard. You're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
Too much of a chat. And what will be the final ban here? There's definitely a lot of big stuff open. You think Set, Karma, Caitlyn immediately come to mind, but the Azir's going to be denied here, so they're going to open up a chance for Team Dynamics to get some big picks as the Set is taken away.
And what will the priority be here for DAMWON? Because they don't normally pick the Karma, but it is still going to be gone for, and I almost guarantee that this is heading into the support position alongside either Ashe or Caitlyn. And I actually think that this is really smart from DAMWON because both of those AD carries are left up, and Karma fares extraordinarily well with either of them, and Dynamics won't be able to pick both. So
I'm looking at the stats, and I see a grand total of 0 games of Karma.
Yeah, right.
For DAMWON, which is exactly what we were saying before. So I was really surprised to see the Karma picked here. Maybe, I mean, it has that flex potential, so we'll have to wait and see. Zoe Ashe coming back in, a couple of champions that worked for Team Dynamics that are obviously quite good. They first picked the Ashe the last time around, you guys remember.
Yep.
So, Duck Dom feeling really good on that champion right now.
Nidalee going to be picked up again, and which AD carry do they go for? No, it is just going to be Renekton locked in for Noguri. And DAMWON probably feeling like they can take Caitlyn, they can take Ezreal, they can take a lot of different options towards that bottom side. This will mean that it's either Showmaker on the Karma or Beryl. Just a bit of a spoiler, it's going to be Beryl. There's no way that Showmaker is going to be able to pick up a player of the game.
True.
On Karma. So there that is. I like this from DAMWON though. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. As the Gangplank, the classic counter to the Renekton, is going to come in. Now this did not work for Summit, but throughout the ages, Gangplank has often been able to deal with the Renekton, and the best way to do so is to just make yourself more relevant as the game goes on. The good thing about Gangplank is he has a decent time throughout the game, right? He can oranges the stun, and if Renekton doesn't get too fed, then you definitely have a better time. So Senna going to be banned away here, wanting to avoid that sort of lane, but does mean that DAMWON will get either the Ezreal or the Caitlyn, and so they're probably going to be pretty okay with the amount of pressure that they can exert bottom lane. And Showmaker just gets to counterpick the Zoe in any way he wants, given that attention to bottom lane that has to be given here by Dynamics.
Yeah, curious to see how these drafts are going to line themselves out. We see the Olaf banned away here. I think getting another big win in the jungle is just a very simple and straightforward way for DAMWON to win the game again. So taking away some of the options away from Beyond, some of his comfort. He's played a lot of Trundle and a lot of Olaf, and Trundle has kind of fallen away and honestly won't be very good into the Nidalee. So they immediately take away the Olaf. We'll have to wait and see what they take away next. I mean, if you're going down the line and you don't want to ban away Trundle, you could ban Graves, but that would be weird. So maybe just the Olaf, and then looking elsewhere.
Yeah, it looks like Docdan's happy with either the Ezreal or the Caitlyn matchup. Of course, Ashe picked into Caitlyn all the time, so that wouldn't be too much of a surprise, but Jhin taken off the board here does mean that a lot of the poke potential out from DAMWON is going to be mitigated, as Nautilus taken away from Guga. But I think Thresh is probably just likely to be picked here again. I think that Guga's Thresh was fantastic, espally
Pantheon is available.
The Caitlyn. Yeah, sorry, alongside the Ashe. But that Trundle that you were talking about is going to come out and just shows that Beyond is certainly feeling a little bit under pressure.
Yeah. I mean, besides that, he's got Graves and Sejuani and Jarvan, and he hasn't seen much success on those. As here's the rounded out DAMWON draft. They're going to go with Jace here, and that means that Showmaker is playing Jace or Renekton. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, they could just throw Jace up into the top lane against Gangplank if they really wanted to, and then throw Renekton to Showmaker.
And then think about like the mid-jungle support that you're going to get. It's absolutely insane, as here's a Lux, like we saw yesterday from Carrier, but Guga isn't Carrier. Carrier is the only one that's really made us feel like Lux is one of those power picks towards the bottom lane. In the support position, now a lot of pressure on Guga to demonstrate the same thing up against the far more, I guess, consistent laner in the Karma. As it is going to be the Croc in the middle. I like it a lot.
Yeah. And early on in the lane, Zoe is going to be... Oh, never mind. We're going to switch it up. The Croc is going top. And again, we did see the Croc do well against GP in recent times, so they're okay with that. They're going to throw Showmaker onto the Jace, which he shouldn't be any stranger to, even though it's, you know, not super often pick. He does have one win on the Jace so far.
Yep, played it a bit so far this season, but also played it a lot in previous seasons. I'll have a look at the stats. Exactly, it was him and Chovy that were really making the Jace mid lane look very, very strong. I find it curious that they didn't go for the swap, although I guess Renekton has a hard time locking down a Zoe, so maybe that's why. Just give Showmaker a little bit more lane presence. And getting lane control is definitely important in mid lane.
Yeah, the Renekton can have a fun time in the longer lane, like running down the GP. That's kind of what we saw the last time we saw this matchup, whereas the Zoe can kind of flash away from the Renekton and be okay and use her range to abuse. So the Jace definitely going to be a powerhouse in the mid lane. Don't sleep on that one either. And it's Guga trying his hand at Lux. We're seeing this pick come in more and more often. Curious to see if he can effectively support the Ashe as well as he did in game number 1.
Yeah, his Thresh was very good, so certainly got his eye in. As DAMWON, we're all boosting it towards the bottom lane. They might find Guga on his way in, who's taken Ignite on the Lux. Surprising, as I believe DAMWON do see the ward. They're unable to actually take it down, as they will just slink back into their jungle. So nothing, no early shenanigans here. As pretty badass skin for the Gangplank towards the top side.
That's a very cool sword.
Yep. Just to check in with Showmaker and his Jace mid, he's 100% win rate over 3 games. In the LCK of all time.
Yeah.
Doesn't include Challenger, so we can't really go back too far. But yeah, definitely making things work. 11 KDA, if that means anything to anyone.
We have 3 Scorches here. This is something we always look for, but it makes sense for the Jace and the Karma. I feel the Zoe taking it is always questionable. I mean, there's going to be a lot of times where the Zoe can do some nice little poke, just like you saw there. But will it offer more than the Gathering Storm if this game does go later? And maybe he's saying, well, if we lose to DAMWON in the early game, we're probably going to lose the game anyway. So let me try to get an early lead and go from there. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, DWG actually utilizing this pressure onto Guga very effectively to get some damage onto Ghost bottom side. But you can see the minion wave in control of DAMWON. Something that you can certainly afford with the Karma, who will help push much better than a shield-first Lux. Dynamics still going to have a fair bit of power, and their lockdown is going to be very reliable once they hit a few extra levels, especially level 6 for the Ashe. Okay, that's a bit of a miss from Beryl, and an opportunity here for Dynamics.
Yeah.
Ghost just getting whittled down by this bottom lane.
Beryl is not a Karma player. As we talked about, he likes Bard, he likes Pantheon. Apparently, he also has played Sejuani.
Yep, Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy comes in. He's got a lot of weird picks. Karma's not one of them. And it'll be curious to see how he does on that selection.
Ooh, okay. Nogri getting chunked here by Rich, who finds yet another parlay to the back of the Croc's head. And this is something that we talk about. We are going to have Cull the Meek for Nogri, so he's going to be able to manage his health bar quite nicely. And Rich has gone through all of his corrupting potions, so you can see that's probably why he's faring a bit better based on the health bars.
Early game, it's not fun for the Gangplank. As you get a couple of items, you can begin to poke a little bit better. Obviously, Parlay Harass is going to be nice, but the Renekton can shoot through that, as Canyon and Beyond have butted heads again here.
Yeah, Beyond does have the pillar on cooldown, but he will be able to secure the bottom Rift Scuttler. Canyon should be able to make it to the top one. As you can see, the Renekton moving on over to make sure that that can be a guarantee. Oh, actually, it's going to be the Krug camp, and you can see Nogri. He's actually going to take that one away for himself. So not going to let them get double scuttled. But Canyon wanted to be able to make sure that he got the full clear of his jungle complete as early as possible. As Showmaker, Kuzan just demonstrating some exemplary Zoe play in the mid lane.
Yes.
You pick up a redemption, and that's how you tell your opponent that you're just a better Zoe.
It's very true. Showmaker is a good Zoe in his own time. He gets redemption and Proto Belt very often.
All the time.
So Kuzan's, just trying to play up to his level, essentially, and doing a decent job of that so far with his first redemption.
Ow. Guga taking a lot of damage there.
The Lux is really squishy, and the poke is going to be a lot more effective from the Karma. The level 1 and level 2 were definitely won because of the Ashe, but we'll see how this one does scale, as here's Canyon in the top lane again.
Yep, Nogri grabs that cannon creep, as now we're just looking for it. No oranges to be eaten just yet, and that is a very dead a very dead Gangplank, and First Blood once again hand-delivered on a silver platter to Nogri. I think maybe teams are going to have to consider banning away the Renekton Nidalee combo from this team, because they look like they're pretty consistent in getting these leads.
Yeah, and the fact that Nogri is picking it so often really early as well is just showing that he's like, well...
I mean, this is the LPL strat, right? You pick Renekton super early so that you can counterpick for another lane in your last couple of picks in the draft, on blue side or on red side. It doesn't actually really matter. So that is a decent snare. Guga has to flash, though, as Ghost getting on forward. Flashing on in. Nogri is going to join the battle as well, and he'll help lock down DWG, but not before Ghost is eliminated. It's 3-1 in the end, but DWG has, his Ashe is good, guys. It's just unfortunate that the rest of Dynamics haven't been able to step up alongside him.
That's very true. And Nogri just all over the map once again. He's really angry he didn't get the player of the game in game number 1. He says, well, let me show you what I can do this time around, as he is making that pick look so strong here. He's going to lose some of this. It is a cannon wave, so he's not going to lose too much, but...
He might lose the melee and maybe the cannon. Yeah, but I think otherwise it'll be absolutely fine.
Says he doesn't have heal.
얘 망했다. 이거 텔 없는 건데.
Yeah, talking about the oranges,
리고식
I think,
갈게.
yeah.
Yeah. And that made it a pretty straightforward kill. I think even if GP has oranges and flashes away, I think he still dies, to be honest. They could just follow up flash. He was so out of position.
If the next spear lands, then absolutely. As
I mean, even if it doesn't, he just like came in behind and started autoing him, and he was so low already. It was he was so far down the lane that he was just really, he felt too safe because of his ward, and
also really desperate to get the lane crashes. Nogari back towards the top side. A couple of extra daggers here building towards his Blade of the Ruin King as he's going to zone the gangplank away from his barrel. And Spear will connect Canyon once again, hanging around top lane as this wave crashes in.
I want Beryl to play GP one game.
All right, the Renekton's going to start this one off. We'll see whether they can actually get it in time as Nogari slicing out, and Tribute's going to keep him alive. Cannon Barrage. Just, yep, unfortunately, that ship just a bit late with its cannons. And this is over. This top lane is just SOS in every single way possible.
Yeah, it's definitely looking a little bit scary for the GP. This is what can happen.
All right, Beyond is going to find Canyon here, flashing out. Press the attack trundle, remember, and if you're in melee range, it's a rough time as Nogari is doing his best Singed impression in between the turrets.
Oh, poor Rich, man. He's losing so much CS. It's 80 to 36. He's got less than half.
And he has nowhere near any items. He has a fairy charm.
Yeah.
What is this going to be? Tier Gangplank? Just to represent his feelings? I don't think so.
Just stack the tears and sit in the fountain.
Yeah, it's one of those items that you can just build, by the way, guys, just for the extra mana regen, and then you sell it. The resale value is actually not awful if it's going to help you stick around in lane a little bit longer.
And Nuggery has a completed Blade of the Rune King at 8 minutes. So this lane is over, okay? Even if Beyond is there, they can probably 2v2 die, okay? This is that level of over.
It's 2,000 gold in the lead. He's got... His lead is almost as much as all of what Rich has.
Yeah. It's
that's like double his gold. Oh, God.
It's pretty gross up there in the top side.
Mega gross.
And you can see that Beyond, yes, he's going to come in here. It's going to be 3v2 down the bottom side. He will take the red, but...
Arrow?
That was
okay.
A little bit strange. They're never really going to be able to jump the wall there. As, meanwhile... Always look at the minimap, guys. Canyon's up here, he's doing the Rift Herald. So this is an amazing trade for the side of DAMWON, even though Team Dynamics did get the Cloud Drake.
Oh, God.
Doesn't really matter.
Blade of the Rune King active still available here.
They're going to dive him again, I think.
As Rich misses a cannon creep to add insult to injury.
Nuggery's pretty low, but...
Yeah, there's the Dominus. As we get the slice, oh, no! There's the dice, and there's an extraordinarily dead Gangplank. This camp is just not what you want. As Showmaker going to move real fast with that phase rush, flashes over the wall. Kuzan going to follow him. And there's the flash, picks up a whole bunch of sparkles. It's Kuzan! He is going to burn down. No! The last tick wasn't enough, and the Zoe survives.
Well, for now.
Canyon, Spear is going to land onto Beyond. Almost gets him with the Runic Echoes. As, yep, there he goes. Falls down in the end as now Canyon looking for the double kill. He should be able to. Subjugate does come in, though. Spear connects, and yep, that's the execute. Meanwhile, Nuggery's taking inner turret's top lane.
Look at the top lane.
Oh, my God, it's so over.
Hey,
Errol's going to die, so there is a consolation kill in the bottom lane. As I think this was the duo queue. Doc Dum and Gugu, they were the duo queue on the red side this game. And
up against Nuggery
guys,
and Canyon.
just stop dying and we'll carry.
Well, they're up against the better duo queue that's actually smurfing in silver.
Yeah, exactly.
Up here in the top side. As Rich is, I mean, at this point, it's like you can't even be under turret.
This is like
need Canyon. He does it alone.
Yeah, it's the essence of Dyrus treatment, man. Like, it's just so rough.
Yeah.
For this guy.
This is a nice follow-up. I mean, Beyond's looking for anything that he can get. He knows the top lane is done, so he's not even going there. And actually gets a nice little kill here on a Showmaker, but then they know that the Nidalee is fast, and they try to back here in this brush. I think they should have just gone mid and tried to run as... Oh, Beyond died.
Yeah, he's dead. We don't need to play-by-play that one, I don't think, as Canyon gets chunked by Kuzan. Kuzan, another quiet performer here, as Doc Dum is going to find Beryl. Hawk shot. Spots him out as now Canyon looking to try and steal away this blue buff, and without the jungler, I think they will be able to do that. Showmaker looking for some plates in the mid lane. Just he needs to set the table for when he gets home, potentially fairly early once again.
Yeah.
Here for DAMWON.
Nuggery and Canyon are trying their best to send Showmaker home as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
They're good brothers.
Okay, Caulfield's Warhammer actually completed
no.
here for Nuggery. Rich is dead again. No
Yes,
surprise.
Flash.
Yeah, well, Blade of the Ruin King was used. He's just slicing, dicing, having just a really good time, but Rich gets himself into the brush here.
Run away!
Big, scary crocodile is still chasing. Showmaker wanting some of the gold.
Nuggery is 3.3k gold ahead of his top laner.
Oh, the sneaky devil!
Wow.
As he's still out of vision, by the way, guys.
This is, you know, he's very good at running.
That was cute.
Props.
That was real cute. Even gets back to the minion wave. There's no turret, so Rich is gonna have to run.
Nuggery's still chasing him.
Oh man.
Never ends.
Yeah, Nuggery doesn't have flash, Rich does, so Rich is gonna be a bit safer. But he's still 50 CS behind at 12 minutes. And Shock Blast are now starting to hurt. In that mid lane also, very close to a Rod of Ages. We'll see when Canyon's going to be able to complete that. He's 4-0-2 on the Nidalee, which is pretty good.
Might get some votes from media because he's got that one extra kill. So definitely got to look out for that when it does come to the player of the game vote. But
I'm not going to lie,
aside,
I think Canyon almost deserves
jokes
it.
aside, it's both of them again.
Yeah, right.
It's the two of them coming together, and Canyon's timing on the gank was good.
And if you remember, it was actually the player of the game from summer of 2019 was Canyon, in fact, who has now started to step up towards the end of 2020 as well.
And I remember when... Oh,
all right, that's a large amount of buttons pressed onto Ghost, who is going to Arcane Shift out, flashes, Canyon comes on over, and is going to be able to keep him alive. Now, Nuggery has found the Ashe. The Gangplank does manage to get the kill on the Ezreal, but he's trying to jump off Summoner's Rift right now. He's trying to get it out, but you actually can't press the buttons over that wall. And so Alcove or no, the Lux is well and truly dead. So a 2-for-1, as Ghost did also fall, as we're going to have a look at the replay here of Beyond falling down. Good avoidance there of the spear, but we know what's going to happen. As the bubble missing, I think, was the last nail.
I don't know why he's turning around there. Like, he is very far behind. He's up against the Nidalee. Kind of countered himself in the jungle pick, which we were talking about in the draft. All this damage, and Ghost was still able to survive. Gets healed here at the last second, would have died to last tick, and then gets killed by GT anyway.
He got very close to getting out of the way there, but...
Had to use the Cannon Barrage at least, as Renekton is just, I mean, this is like the Godzilla movie where Godzilla wins. Yeah. Are there any movies like that? Any Godzilla movies where Godzilla just destroys the city and, like, is happy at the end?
I mean, Godzilla's like a good guy in one of them.
Like,
yeah,
what is
Godzilla
this?
just absolutely tearing the out
of
I don't know why there was a flash as Nuggery just walks up and kills him with Dominus in the end. The Gangplank also dies to the top side. As like we were talking about, that Rod of Age is already completed here from Canyon. He is mega far ahead, and this game is as over as it can possibly be. It's 15 minutes and there's an 8,000 gold lead. Like, yeah.
It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those DAMWON games, Atlas. It's. I
mean, the surrender vote at the moment is unanimous, 100%. As the arrow is going to glide gracefully away, and now Beyond, he's gonna man his inner turret.
He dodged.
Isn't necessarily safe there.
He dodged so much, and he used flash, but he still couldn't get away. And,
I mean, there's 4 people here, right? Like, it's just...
It's the DAMWON bulldozer right now. We are...
It's 11,000 gold. True Shot Barrage, Dr. He has to leave. He's extraordinarily low. More spears being looked for on the backside there from Canyon. And, yeah. I mean, Rich is about to get Flame Horizon by Nuggery at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And look, like, Nuggery's also building, like, lethality, snowball Renekton as well.
It's cute that they think they can fight Renekton.
I know, right?
You can't. You can't. It's not going to happen, guys.
That burst damage is just
Look at how many...
repugnant.
His autos are doing, like...
Yeah, it's like lethality Renekton. Oh, God.
Insane amounts of damage every single auto. And... Yeah, they're just bullying them under turrets. They're diving too.
Oh, he's
Doesn't really
building
matter.
a blade. It's a black cleaver now.
Yeah.
That's no fun. I saw the extra.
Should have built to the Infinity Edge.
Showmaker's going to find beyond. Flashes the pillar, but Rich is going to turn up, and Showmaker does at least take the blue bar. This is a good pillar. 5,000 gold is Nogari's advantage. So there's that stat. Now Nogari just casually walking past these two solo laners. And Rich is going to get flashed on and murdered. This is just...
I almost cursed there.
It's so rough. Oh, in he goes again! Underneath the turret, culling the Meek! And Nogari says, it's my damn player of the game! Come on, media, vote for me.
Well, he's got the most kills now.
Right, in goes Barrel, he's flashing forward. And the Shock Blast also going to connect. The Life Binding's pretty good there from Guga defensively. But still, Dynamics are relegated to their fountain at 17 minutes into the game.
This is the least fun game that Team Dynamics has ever played.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll tell you that right now in pro play. This does not feel good. As the losing team, man, this is decimation. It's not even close.
This is just... Yeah. Okay, so the minion wave gets cleared out in the mid lane.
Just keep pushing.
There's that.
Got Shirley.
Oh god, they do that? What? Where is she?
Yeah, I think Canyon has her.
Oh no. I didn't see the golden pause. As Nogari is going to put down a control ward. He's trying to get out of here. There's the slow. No flash available, remember, is now Guga. Wants to find the light binding, and he walks into it. But now, Rich is in trouble. Final Spark will pick up the kill. And all of that juicy gold goes to the support Lux. All right, and Doctum also gets the big popcorn chicken. The comeback. Oh no, don't think so. Not just yet.
8-1 now. Unacceptable. Could have had a perfect KDA, but now I might just have to vote for Ghost.
Yeah.
This game.
No, it's Showmaker.
Yeah. Well,
0-1.
Look at him. He's just running past. And let's listen to what he has to say. I'm very curious how he's feeling about all this.
아?
That's our translation, by the way, guys.
Yeah. And just means, yeah, basically, you know, like,
Yep. Basically means yes.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
And then he gets killed.
Yeah, he does. He's not too
They
worried
took
about
down
it, though.
Godzilla in the end.
Yeah.
This is the happy ending, right, Team Dynamics?
He's back, by the way. And he also has a Black Cleaver now and a second Vampiric Scepter. Death Dance most likely being built towards. And the Renekton's massive. As is Showmaker, just quietly. Landing 3-man Shock Blasts.
Yeah. Just doing his thing. And Dominic, you could tell they're pretty angry they didn't end the game before at 17 minutes, so they're going to try to end it here at 19 minutes. Let's see if they can do it, Atlas. I'm pretty confident
Yeah,
they can, actually.
I think that if there's any lead that you can finish a game before 20 minutes on, it's probably a lead like this, but 20 seconds until that dream becomes less of a reality. As Dynamics, everyone's alive, but they're bleeding out underneath their Nexus turrets as they're desperately trying to get rid of these minions. Super creeps starting to make their way up the bottom lane. As you can see, DAMWON, they're just like, well, not going to push in just yet. Let's wait for the creeps. As Baron's going to spawn, and they may just take it right now.
Yeah, they can if they want. They could just go back and push again if they feel like it. But you could tell that they were a little apprehensive about just straight up diving turrets, even from this far ahead. Don't want to give anything over to the side of team. Oh no.
Oh no. This is
where
literally...
Godzilla comes out of the jungle instead of the
This is
instead
what
out of the
saltwater
ocean.
crocodiles do, dude. They they wait in the reeds and then they sprint out.
Oh.
And there he goes. This is now a nature documentary. The gazelle getting absolutely obliterated by the lion. However, the poacher is going to come through with a huge arrow of destiny as Nogari's going to be able to take down the barrel and he'll get out. So the crocodile lives, but as does the gazelle. And yes, in this story, Gangplank is a gazelle.
We're saving the endangered species over here in the LCK.
Sometimes
so many Gangplanks have been killed.
Like, listen to David Attenborough talking about these animals that are definitely about to die, and they're really cute. Thankfully, this time around, it was a good news story. But when you're talking about the Gangplank as a gazelle, a helpless creature, then that's certainly a game state that you don't want if you're a Dynamics fan. As Beryl, he's going to do the best that he can to get Beyond out of here, but it's Showmaker that does most of that work. Now looking for another Shock Blast that'll kill Beyond, as the Baron should be taken. Beyond not going to get speared.
Look at Showmaker looking for the angle.
Final Spark comes in. Yeah,
it.
Beyond is just going to be taken down, so there's no more smites. And it was level 13 to, I think, level 10, so it doesn't even really matter. It was never 50-50 because the smite did an extra approximately 200 damage. It's Canyon over the top. Showmaker here trying to corral. They don't have vision.
I loved the Hunter Showmaker looking for the angle.
Yeah.
Trying to take down the troll.
There's poachers on both sides.
I know.
Nogre walking in. Loosen Singularity just to slow down the minion wave, but this Nexus turret's dead. Oh, and DAMWON will crash through, take this one down. It's 22 minutes into the game, and it's well and truly over. 14,000 gold is the lead. That gold lead at 20 stat that we saw before is only going to be inflated now as Arrow, nicely avoided by DAMWON. And I don't think Dynamics have any chance of stopping this. You can see that Nexus turret is not long for the world. Flash forward there from Nogre. He'll take whichever target he can get, and he'll look for the Lux first. And just crashes on through. Beryl will probably die, but he flashes out, and he's going to keep himself alive. The Inspired Shield comes in. Nogre, huge healing as he slices, dices, and chops up the Pirate. Ghost just trying to land some Mystic shots, and they're going to give up on the Nexus for the moment. They want to be able to grab as many kills as they can. Showmaker misses the Shock Blast, though, and that's going to be that. DAMWON with a very swift 2-0. An understandable one, but the way they did it was definitely entertaining. Nogre's Crocodile, my goodness. When I visited the Northern Territory of Australia, where there are a lot of saltwater crocodiles, and I went to one of the talks at one of the zoos, and they were talking about how incredibly scary these creatures were. Well, now you guys, you've had that experience as well. They are about as scary as Nogre's Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, it evolved into Godzilla, and that's not a movie for kids to watch. That was a very bloody one. There was a lot of killing and destruction there.
Yeah, often you see it's like M15 for Godzilla movies. This was the R-rated Godzilla movie.
Yeah, M15. I don't think we have that one in
Sorry, yeah, that's an American. That's sorry,
PG-13
that's an Australian
maybe?
thing. Yeah, PG-13 is your one. So
Yeah.
maybe it's more of a PG-13 vibe.
Look at Showmaker's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going home
Yeah.
fast. Thanks, team.
I don't think he's very happy. I think that Showmaker likes to have the spotlight on himself, but it was fixed pretty much on the top side of the map the entire time.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's not every day that Showmaker gets carried, and it's not like he was doing poorly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, generally he's the one that's, got the most kills. He's doing the crazy plays. He didn't have the best game of his year in Game 1 as well, which is interesting. That rarely happens for a player like Showmaker, but it was all the Nuggery Canyon show today. The two of them just the real smurfing duo, like from solo queue, that are like challenger and they're leveling new accounts in silver, and they're doing that every single game.
Yeah, and the Gangplank, I mean, we've seen it picked into Renekton time after time throughout all of the years of League of Legends. I feel like this is a matchup that's that dates back many, but it's not looking very good here in the LCK.
Well,
just looking way too strong, especially with all the jungle support that he was given, especially in this game.
Yeah, we've seen Renekton Nidalee up against GP. I don't know if it was Renekton Nidalee in the KT series, but it was...
I think it was Renekton Set.
Yeah, maybe. It was something that can follow up gank really well with the Renekton, and Set is, of course, a champion that can do that. So we're seeing... First of all, it was Genji versus KT the first time around, which is a heavily favored matchup towards Genji. And this one, of course, DAMWON versus Team Dynamics, heavily favored towards DAMWON. So I would be really curious to see a,
yeah, let's see the other
even
side
matchup,
of the matchup,
or, a lower level team in the LCK playing Renekton Nidalee or Renekton Set or Renekton, ganking jungler, and going up against a, really strong top laner that's playing GP. Because I feel like some of the results are showing that, oh man, Renekton is amazing. Nidalee should be picked every single game. But we need more data points. We need to see some of the other teams pick it up in more even matchups before we can make broad statements like that, as there was a lot of action down in the bottom side, but really it all began when the Croc made his appearance.
And he turns up bottom side, and the bottom lane's like, what did you guys do? Yeah. Gugu's like, I'm trying my best to get off the edge of this this rift right here.
This question mark pinging the GP that's farming in the top lane with 67 CS. This was the Ghost gank. I don't even remember this kill. Like, Rich died so many times, it was pretty unfortunate for him.
This was the casually cruise past and kill Rich. Sidestep. I think he responded with to that one.
Yeah.
This one's huh?
No, he laughed about the sidestep and then he did a
yeah, sorry.
yeah.
That's right.
절대
Sorry,
끝내지 마.
guys.
다 죽여, 다 죽여.
Make sure that
Showmaker's like, do not end. Kill them all. Do not end. And his team is
야, 야생동물
obliging.
뭐야 이거? 나 실드 쳐 미탈 없고.
I think he called him a wild animal.
나 살려줘.
It's kind of what I heard as a literal translation, but it's pretty accurate to be honest. Someone let the Renekton off the leash tonight, and I think it was Nidalee, and he had a lot of fun, certainly in 2 games.
Yeah, I want to see a crocodile on a leash. By the way, that's actually it's an amusing image. That
probably exists from Florida if you search some pictures from down there.
That's likely true. That does.
Yeah.
Well, I watched
Seems
that
likely.
show. As this was absolutely a complete destruction by DAMWON. And we're going to be able to hear from whoever picks up the player of the game and Canyon after this one. I think it will be Nogari, so we'll be able to see the Bash Bros together talking about how they just destroyed Dynamics' top side of the map. Didn't really matter that the Dynamics bottom lane had one of their better series. And I do want to congratulate Gugu and Dom for stepping up their play. It was just unfortunately against DAMWON. So you don't deal with the top lane or the top side of the map. Yeah.
It was a sad game for their bot lane, but not because of them. And it's just, the more they destroy teams over and over, the more it makes me hyped to see them at Worlds. Because I think they almost definitely will get a way into Worlds from here, whether it's by winning Summer or by somehow getting the points or
76 CS ahead at 15 minutes.
Casually, just, Gangplank did not exist in this game.
Nope. Absolutely not. It's a terrifying level of performance out of DAMWON, who are looking to try and make a statement, heading towards first place once again. DRX did kick them out of that spot for a little while, as of yesterday, but now they've evened up the match score, and that's going to mean DAMWON's gigantic amount of points is going to get them there. We'll have to have a look at exactly how many points they're going to be on now as this sidestep. Really nice from Nogari.
I want to see how many votes went to Canyon, because I think he also had, obviously, a very big part in getting the Nuggery fed. And
that was a little bit...
Somebody in the Matrix just got really angry at me. Yeah, so he got 12 out of 12.
So Canyon didn't even get a look in this time. Yeah. But I think that it makes sense this game.
Yeah. He took that lead and he just started bashing them on the head with it, basically, which doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah. This was an utter stomp. Absolutely nothing they could do. I don't think we've seen, like, one-sided in, like, one lane to that extent since yesterday, I guess, with Caitlyn. Let's throw it over to the interview, though. Here's Ji-sun with some translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun with Deliver Translation. And this POG will be Kenya Nuggery from DWG Gaming taking down Team Dynamics 2-0. How do you feel, guys? I'm happy that we won fast. And, we have some matches left, but still, I'm happy that we won today. What about you, Nuggery? Well, it's been a while since I carried a game, so it's really nice. Congratulations on the 8-match winning streak as well. And DWG Gaming, you guys are trying something new with the draft. For example, Azir and Showmaker and first pick Karma. Were you guys trying to learn some new recipe for winning coming into the playoffs? Well, during the scrims, well, we also have some of the favorite picks, but we always try to practice and experiment other picks. And today was the day to kind of pull it off on competitive games.
그런 것들이 이제 직접 사용하는 선수가 내가
Yeah, for Azir and other picks, was that the player's opinion or was that the team's decision?
라지를 얘기한다면
For example, the Azir pick on Showmaker.
팀에서 이제
해라.
From the team, we were giving some pressure over to Showmaker.
아, 네, 알겠습니다.
그 캐니언스 오늘 게임이 빨리 끝나서 좀
Kenyon, you said you ended this game really early, and you were the core player that enabled this kind of speed out of DAMWON Gaming because you were so ahead in the jungle. Was that all predicted and calculated? Not really. I thought he's gonna go for 3 camps on his jungle, but luckily I met him in the red buff jungle, so I was able to get a kill.
게임할 수 있게 만들어준
And
것
thanks
같아요.
to that, Nuguri was also having a very comfortable laning phase.
그래서 좀 의견이 분분해요.
So we had a very split votes between top and jungle in that
아니면은
game.
그거를 캐리한 너구리냐였어요.
So Kenyon who
캐니언
set it
선수는
everything up,
어떻게
or
보면
who,
의견이 피어지더라고요.
whether it's Nuguri who carried the game with that snowball. I think I deserve the POG for game 1 because I made Rek'Sai to GG in the level 1, level 2.
뭔가 뭐라 해야 되지? 전부가 이런 질문하면은
네.
I mean,
항상 좀 약간 배려하는 말을
whenever we ask him this kind of a question, he used to be super humble. So I thought he's gonna say Nuguri deserves the POG. But yeah, for me, it's true. Because Rek'Sai died in such an early phase, I was able to have a very comfortable lane phase. In game number 2, we saw Karma coming out from DAMWON Gaming. And you guys don't really pick it. Was that designated for Beryl in the beginning? Because I mean, a lot of fans were thinking that Nuguri, you won't like picking Karma, and also Showmaker won't prefer Karma as well. I mean, we practiced Karma a lot, and it was a flex pick for all 3 roles.
처음에는 서폿으로 정해둔 게 아니고
네, 네, 네.
저는 바텀에 갈 것 같아요. 고스 선수가 하지 않을까까지도
맞아요.
생각해요.
We even thought Ghost playing bottom Karma
그래서 플레이를 했었기 때문에
because he did last year. And you played Renekton with offensive item build this time around. You were just like going full attack mode. What was the reason for your itemization?
이제 라스칼 선수가 좀 레이톤을 되게 잘 다루셔가지고
I think Rascal is a great Renekton player, so I learned a lot from him.
원거리 상대로는 원래 불클 티아멧
So I used to go with Black Cleaver and Tiamat up against a ranged champion, but Rascal, he's been building
저도 연습 때도 많이 해봤거든요.
play the Ruined King, and so I tried it in scrims, and I think, yeah, it kind of gives him more option, and also it guarantees him a lot of damage, so I was kind of following Rascal's style.
또 하나 궁금한 게 있는데 이제 레넥톤 할 때 저희 오프 더 레코드 들었거든요.
So we
이러면서 스톤을
heard you
막으시더라고요.
saying
그것도
walk
어느
walk
정도
when you
필요한가요?
were like putting in the stuns on the enemy champions. What was that?
제가 이게 레넥 할때 맨날
Whenever I play Renekton, that's something I say.
저도 모르게 한 것 같아요.
So I didn't really know that I was saying that today as well.
자기네 노하우를 따라가는 그런 느낌으로 뭐 라스칼
Walk Walk, definitely a meme from a Korean streamer who's really good at Renekton.
풀킬만 4번 했고
And Nuguri, you got a lot of solo kills.
포탑을 9분 때 밀어놨어요.
And also you got the tier 2 turret on the top lane at 9-minute mark.
되고 있는 게 너구리식 수련법이라고 해서
And we saw that Nuguri training.
난 무조건
because-
가장 안 좋은 상태에서 연습을 해야 된다 뭐 이런
So
얘기를
you always
하는데
go for the hard mode training. Even though you get a solo kill, you always try to go for a very difficult situation. So was that intended in the beginning?
상대 라인전을 좀 많이 연습하고 많이 부족함을
I mean,
저도 많이 부족함을 좀 느껴가지고
I realized that I am
그랬던 것 같고,
not performing well during the laning phase, during the practice. So if I kind of try more things in a very hard situation, I kind of get to improve myself.
그렇습니다. 1, 2경기 모두 근데 상체에서 좀 캐리를 하셨지만 애쉬가 잘 크면서
And in game number 1 and 2, the top side was having a lot of lead, but bottom lane was suffering a little bit.
텀이 좀 불리하기 시작하겠는데
They started off in a bad situation, but I mean, the top side was having a huge lead, so we were like, cheer up, bottom lane.
어떤 말 하시던가요?
What did Ghost say?
딱히 아무 말 없어.
Nothing special.
버릇하면서 많이 터뜨렸기 때문에
The game was, yeah, pretty much over on the top side of the map, to be honest.
경기 전에 기사에서
And we saw an article
리치 대 캐리 부담자
saying that Rich, who has to carry and versus Nuguri, who now has took up some of the burden on his shoulder
궁금해하시거든요.
오늘
to today.
그냥 제가 레넥톤을 투파했다는 것
I
자체가
played 2 Renekton's, which
팀원들이랑
means
인기도 많이 있고 해서
I trust my teammates a lot.
나오고
I think it is all reflected in our draft.
내려놓고 해도 근데 캐리를 해버렸네요.
But you did carry.
오늘 좀 상황이나
네.
이런 게 좋게 나왔던 것 같아요.
Yeah, I had some lucky and good situation for me.
게임 외적으로 러브리 선수
Outside of the games, Nuguri, you are the idol of the top laners. All the top laners
러브리 선수도 한번 대답
are saying that I want to get closer to Nuguri.
아까 라스칼 선수를 참고하셨다고 하셨는데
And you said you actually learned from Rascal about the Renekton play, so who do you want to get closer to here in the LCK?
약간 다 이제 좀 매력 있으신 것
I mean,
같아요.
everyone is really attractive,
도란 선수가
but Doran,
재밌어가지고
he's really fun, you know? His personality is really funny.
다 그리고 칸나 선수도
I want to meet him in person and also Kana.
배워가지고 만나면 그 약간
So,
할수 있을 것 같아요.
yeah. We can have a really good bonding between Kana as well.
좋을 것 같습니다.
네, 여기 칸나 선수와 친해지고 싶다고 하셨는데 공교롭게도 다음 경기가 T1.
However, you have to face up against Kana in the upcoming T1 series. What's your mindset for that game?
일단 T1이 지금 뭔가 스타일도 많이
In T1, their style shifted a lot, and I think Kana is really good at getting solo kills, and he's more solid during the laning phase, and he's like showing more of a sharper style of the gaming play, so I have to prepare a lot for that game. Kenyon, what's your mindset facing up against Cuz in the jungle?
진짜 움직임도 공격적이고
He's really
플레이도
aggressive
많이
recently,
있어서
and yeah, I think he's really
가서 바로
making sharp decisions, so I think I have to get back to the drawing board and practice a lot.
그렇습니다. 지금까지 오늘 승리팀 담원의
So
캐년
this
선수 너구리 선수
was the interview with Kenyon Nuguri from DAMWON Gaming, and thank you very much for this interview.
네, 이렇게 해서 순위표에도 변화가
So
좀
I'm pretty
생겼을
sure
것
we have a
같은데요.
change with the standings, so let's check it
순위표
out.
보겠습니다.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for the interview translation. Absolutely adorable hearing about the little top lane love affairs that we have going on here in the LCK. Noguri returning the favor to Doran, who wanted to hang out with Noguri, and got to find a way of setting that date up somehow, and also kind of getting a bit of a look in there as DWGN take their rightful place in first, plus 25. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
we are so close. 2 more 2-0s for DWGN. They have one big test remaining, and that is going to be up against T1. And if they can get the 2-0, it's
Next
basically
Thursday.
going to be smooth sailing for DWGN. The dream is still alive.
Next Thursday is a big day, DAMWON versus T1. We also have T1 versus DRX on next Sunday.
Yeah. So make sure. The bookended week is going to be a very important one for our final week of the LCK. But we still have one more series to go, guys. Afrika versus Sandbox is going to be coming up in a really long time. I hope to see you in about an hour.